Hi everyone, I'm John Tracy and welcome to The Voice Guru. When you're learning something new, you sometimes hesitate whether you are making any progress or not. And even though sometimes you still have a teacher or a coach or a professor, they don't always give you the right advice that you need or the right feedback that you want to hear. So here are the several steps that you can take in order to measure your own progress. Take note. This applies to all my students. Actually, the first thing I tell them when they come in for a first lesson is to bring in a notebook. This notebook is entirely and exclusively reserved for singing lesson. We write down all the things that we've acknowledged, all the things we need to focus on, their sensations, the things that they've discovered. So when you do this, even though you're not doing this necessarily with your coach, you can have your own diary because every time you practice, you can rely on this information. The more you do this, the more you have knowledge, but also when you read, when you go through all the things you've noted over the month, over the weeks or the month, you notice how much they're not as important as you think they were because you've outgrown them. You've come a long way that whatever you've noted a year ago or like 6 months ago are sometimes irrelevant because you're so much better now that you have more knowledge. So when you record yourself, you not only have a basis, a reference to rely on to kind of listen to yourself, but also this is how you can measure your progress. Because when I listen to, let's say, a recording that was done 3 months ago, 6 months ago, you'll notice the difference in how you're producing sounds now and how you used to do it back then. So this is a great tool to measure as well all the progress you've been doing. If you're taking singing lessons with your coach or a prof, usually your master will give you feedback on a regular basis, and even during the lesson, they usually report to you in a way. They give you feedback, they comment on things. So whether it's positive or negative, you should acknowledge these things. Sometimes it's good to get professional advice as well from other singers. So this can be helpful as well. Now, the best advice you can get is your own, which leads us to the last section. Rely on your own critical thinking. You usually know you're making progress and that things are getting there. You've achieved so many things. You know it. You feel it. You have to trust yourself from time to time. Ideally all the time, but from time to time. Let's start with that. The more you start doing that, the more you realize that you can be independent, whether people like what you sound like or not. You can't please everyone. You'll always get some sort of criticism, but it's totally normal. What you need to do is just absorb all the good things you can take out of all these comments and criticisms for instructive reasons. Don't forget that a lot of people sometimes are jealous and that they just want to throw out an argument just for the sake of it. This shouldn't affect you. I hope this video was useful to you. Don't forget to subscribe to Instagram, YouTube, and on Facebook. And also subscribe to the weekly newsletter at johnthevoiceguru.com. I'm John Tracy and thank you all for watching.